Just 1 month ago, the Indian Wells Tennis Garden saw Novak Djokovic win his third BNP Paribas title on the very same courts that the stars of the future have assembled on. It's the 2014 ASICS Easter Bowl, and inspiring stories are everywhere. Like the promising American Francis Tiafoe, will he continue to impress? Can the rock-steady CC Bellis win for the second consecutive year? Also, 15-year-old John McNally wants redemption after a heartbreaking loss 1 year ago in the championship match. The best juniors in the country have come together at one of the most beautiful tennis venues in the world. The ASICS Easter Bowl is coming up next. Welcome to Southern California's Coachella Valley, where the USA's best young tennis talent is ready to battle it out here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. Over the next hour, we'll watch and learn about some of the finest young athletes in the country as they challenge each other at this prestigious event in their efforts to ultimately compete at the highest levels of the game. The kids are clearly ready to have some fun.
It's time for the ASICS Easter Bowl!
Hello everyone, I'm Katrina Adams, standing alongside ATP Tour top player Taylor Dent. And Taylor, it's so nice to be back here at the ASICS Easter Bowl. We've seen so much amazing talent on the courts this week. What makes this tournament so special?
The hope that the past, is going to hold to the future. The ASICS Easter Bowl in the past has produced former Grand Slam champions, and we hope that when we come out here and watch these young players play, we're going to see some Grand Slam champions in the future.
Well, we have some amazing matchups on the court today for championship matches. And who do you have your eyes on?
Two players really caught my eye. Tiafoe, he's very flamboyant. He has a big weapon in his forehand. It's pro quality, in my opinion. He's got a couple issues on the serve and the backhand, but his athleticism, his toughness, I think it's pro quality stuff. And then on the girls' side, Claire Liu, she's 13 years old, playing in the 16s finals, and she has a lot of game to offer. You can't wait to see such a young player play well. And you?
Well, you've got CC Bellis, who's in the finals of the girls' 18s, her third consecutive final here in 3 different age groups, and she has so much talent out on the court. And then John McNally, he is here looking for revenge. He lost a heartbreaker last year, having had match points, and he's going to have a good match today, but I think he can pull it through.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a strong lineup, and we hope to see some great tennis out there from start to finish.
Well, we'll see who can add their name to a long list of champions here at the ASICS Easter Bowl. The incomparable Jimmy Connors, 1973 and 76 Easter Bowl champ John McEnroe, Jim Courier, 1976 champ Tracy Austin, 1988 Easter Bowl winner Jennifer Capriati, and one of the current stars, Sloane Stephens. In the younger divisions, Casey Harvey took the girls' 12s title, while on the boys' side, Daniel Sherrigan grabbed the 12s crown. In the girls' 14s, the champion was Rachel Lynn, while the boys' 14s saw Stephen's son pocket the champion's medal. The girls' 16s is up first. Let's get to know top seed Katarina Stewart.
I'm Katarina Stewart. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I started playing tennis in Coral Gables, Florida with my father, who owns his own academy, Next Level Tennis. I've been playing since I was 3 years old, so I've been doing this for a while. I'm definitely a more physical player. I can stay out there for 4 hours if I wanted to. Definitely mentally, I'm mentally strong, and basically I can just out-rally my opponent, so that I take pride in. It's very special to play the ASICS Easter Bowl because just the site here is amazing, all the players are amazing, you get to see everyone, and just to be in this atmosphere is very nice.
Thanks, Katarina. And Taylor, here's our matchup.
Well, look at Claire Liu, age 13 years old, taking on a very strong, mature 16-year-old Katarina Stewart.
Well, when we look at Stewart here in the near court, she does a great job playing defensive tennis.
And the nice thing about playing good defensive tennis is it gives you opportunities to take control and take offense, and that's what she does here. Hits a couple of very accurate forehands and able to clean up the point with an easy forehand volley winner.
That takes her to 1-love in the opening set. Later in this set, Liu really trying to do something different and trying to be a little more dominant herself.
She did a very good job being aggressive. Unfortunately, where she lacked was just being able to clean up the points at net, and that's what Katarina Stewart did so well. She's just able to extend these points. Boom! Missed overhead in the net. That's gotta hurt having played such a good point.
And now Katarina Stewart trying to close out this opening set.
Again, the pressure from Katarina Stewart just shrinking the court on Claire Liu gives a very easy backhand return error.
Some different results here in the second set. Very different momentum from Liu.
The only difference in this set, this point, is that Claire Liu was able to clean up some of those volleys and hit some winners.
Good effort from Katarina Stewart, but Liu continuing to build on the offensive play.
Katarina Stewart did have some shades of brilliance in this second set. Her defense, her wheels, able to afford her shots like that. The forehand squash shot.
Amazing athleticism from Stewart, able to come up with the goods. But Liu not ready to go away just yet.
Katarina Stewart giving her a different look, seeing if Claire Liu was on her toes, ready to close out this set, but apparently she was, not falling for the chip and charge. Well, again, another point where Claire Liu is taking control, putting Katarina Stewart in a tough spot, but look at that, another forehand squash shot winner. Just unbelievable the amount of athleticism it takes to pull that off. She's so far behind the court, using her defensive skills, able to scramble over there, get under this slice forehand, and look at that recovery. She's ready for the next ball just in case.
We've seen that shot from the likes of Serena Williams and Andy Roddick on the Pro Tour. Now, Stewart here in the near court, trying to close things out here in this final set.
And all too familiar, another miscue from Claire Liu up at net, shanking that overhead off the top of her frame, and Katarina Stewart able to clean the point up nice and easy.
So this takes us to match point. Liu in the near court.
Katarina Stewart relying on that heavy forehand to force an error out of the Claire Liu forehand.
So the errant forehand from Liu gives Katarina Stewart her first ASICS Easter Bowl title in her last 16s event. She joined me on court to talk about her victory afterwards. Katarina, congratulations on being the ASICS Easter Bowl champ. Now, you had an extremely fast start, and then things started to slow down a little bit. What happened there?
Well, in the first set, I think it was all nerves for us. It was whoever could control their nerves better. And then the second set, she started playing really well, playing more aggressive. I kind of backed off a little bit, kind of relaxed a little bit. And then in the third set, I regrouped everything, so it was good.
Well, you have a powerful all-court game out here. Is this court suitable to you as far as the pace?
Yeah, I like this court. It's pretty slow, so it suits me very well. I mean, the air is kind of fast, but thank God the court is a little bit cushiony, so it helps me a little bit.
What does this title mean to you?
It means a lot to me since this is my last 16s tournament, so I'm glad I got this one.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The girls proudly pose with their trophies after the match. Coming up next, we'll take a look at one of the more interesting American tennis stories of the last decade. Francis Tiafoe, the 16-year-old from College Park, Maryland. The 2014 ASICS Easter Bowl wouldn't be possible without the help of so many talented people from the Indian Wells Tennis Garden.
Hi there, my name's Tom Fye. I'm the Director of Tennis here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. Our facility is like no other in that we're not only a site of the 5th largest tennis tournament in the world, but we're open to facilities and events like the one that's here, the ASICS Easter Bowl. We're always looking to expand our tennis calendar. We have collegiate events, we have senior events, we have junior events, and the facility is growing. In the background, you see the new Stadium 2. We just added that this year. We have 4 more practice courts, so now we're up to 29 courts. Less than 3 weeks ago, you had the best players in the world hitting on these same courts. You see the words Indian Wells on Stadium 4 here, and it's kind of cool to have the kids hitting on the same courts. In fact, one of the kids in the Easter Bowl was one of my hitting partners for the pros during the BNP Paribas Open. So it just kind of ties it all together, and it just pretty cool.
Thanks, Tom. There was a tennis symposium on Wednesday honoring 4 great American tennis coaches. Former Davis Cup captain Tom Gullickson talked about this special event.
We had a great awards ceremony honoring 4 legendary coaches: Jack Sharp from Chicago, Robert Lansdorf from LA, Nick Bollettieri, of course, from the Bollettieri Academy down in Bradenton, and then Jerry Baskin from Atlanta. And they've all developed so many fantastic players for American tennis and for worldwide tennis. And it was a night to recognize and honor them, and just a night to get all the USTA coaches and all the private coaches together and realize we're in a global battle, this tennis battle against all the other countries in the world, and we want to help develop American players.
Another person involved was Kenan, the USTA's Director of Player Talent ID.
Well, it was our first Team USA coaches reception here at the ASICS Easter Bowl, and it was a great night. And it's part of a bigger initiative of this Team USA, where we're really trying to figure out ways that we can work closer and closer with the private sector, the great developmental coaches out in the country, and how can we partner to help build up this next generation of American champions.
And speaking of the next generation, the boys 18's #1 seed, Francis Tiafoe, gives credit to his dad for his tremendous success so far in the sport.
Yeah, my dad really into it. You know, he's very calm with me though. He doesn't really say I have to do this, I have to do that. He just lets me play. But he's really happy with the way I'm going and things I'm doing. So to me, my dad's kind of my role model. Like without him, I wouldn't be here doing things I'm doing now. So I look up to my dad quite a bit.
Francis, his parents are from Sierra Leone, but he was born in the United States. And his father was a head of maintenance at our facility in the beginning. So Francis was there when he was 2, 3 years old, dragging a racket around and started hitting the ball when he was 4, and he's never looked back.
I used to pick him up from school, and him and his twin brother, and bring him to the courts. And he would come out on the court and drag the racket and watch all the other kids play. He always had a racket in his hand no matter where he went, and he even slept with his racket, and he would grab anybody he could to play.
He's got potential to be a big-time player. He's very, very explosive. He's playing some great offense. He defends the court well, and he's got a lot of charisma.
His charisma and talent are sky high. But with Francis Tiafoe, the aspirations are even higher.
My dream is to win 2 prestigious tournaments on the ATP, to win the ATP 500 in DC, since I'm pretty much a hometown boy there. Like, the fans will be for me, and I think that would mean a lot to me. Also, to win the US Open, because the American hasn't won it since '03, Roddick. So, you know, I would like to do something about that.
First of all, a great kid, great athlete, very skilled. Kind of grew up playing tennis his whole life since he's been a baby. With a win, if he finishes off this match, he's going to move into the top, I think, 2 in the world as a junior for a player that's 16 years old. That's pretty remarkable.
Easter Bowl is probably if not one of the bigger tournaments in the state. I mean, so many good players have played it and won it, and I want to be a part of those people who won it. So I think winning this tournament will be a huge deal for me and a big accomplishment.
So high hopes and much to be excited about with Francis Tiafoe as he walks on court for his big match. But first, a message from the Easter Bowl's title sponsor, ASICS, and their tennis promotions manager, Ryan Broccolo.
ASICS America is excited to return as title sponsor of the 2014 ASICS Easter Bowl. It is an honor for ASICS to be a part of this prestigious event. We congratulate all the players whose hard work and determination has helped them to earn a spot into this year's ASICS Easter Bowl. This year, bringing the tournament to the Indian Wells Tennis Garden is an incredible experience, one that all players will remember their entire life. Over 600 of the best players from across the country are here competing and showcasing their talents and dedication to the sport of tennis. ASICS America is committed to supporting athletes of all sports at all levels with innovative footwear, apparel, and accessories as they push their limits and look to better their best at every turn. Now sit back and enjoy the ASICS Easter Bowl.
Welcome back. On Wednesday night, the Laurel Springs School sponsored a player party for over 400 kids, parents, and coaches. A fun start to an exciting week at the Spring Nationals. These stars of the future had a great time mingling, laughing, and eating delicious food catered by the Old Spaghetti Factory, while also trying to stay cool in the shade. One of those kids was Dominique Kucherin, who later asked some pretty good questions in our first Kidcaster moment.
So Katrina, I understand that you grew up in Chicago. I want to know where you practiced tennis and where you grew up in Chicago.
I did grow up in Chicago. I started playing at Hyde Park Racket Club, and then in the summer I was playing at Lake Meadows Tennis Club. I played at Midtown. I played all over the place. And then in my teenage years I played a lot at TAM in Niles, Illinois.
So I understand that you played serve and volley when you were a pro. Did you do the same when you were a junior?
Absolutely. I had to know what I was doing as a junior before I could do it as a pro, but I grew up, I was a serve and volleyer. I hated being on the baseline. I did not like to be back there at all. I wasn't patient. So I had a big serve. I had really good hands at the net, and I developed that game, and it took me all the way to the WTA Tour.
And do you think your game would work today?
Of course it would work today. Nobody's doing it. So I would be bum rushing the net and really putting a lot of pressure on the players. But you know what? The game has gotten so much faster today than when I was playing. The girls are so much more powerful. I have to be a little more patient to get to the net, but I would still definitely be trying to finish the point off at the net.
All right, one more question. Who motivated you as a tennis player, and what was your motivation?
You know what? That's a very good question. You know, I started in 1975, and that particular summer, Arthur Ashe was in the finals of Wimbledon. I saw him on television, and I realized at that point that you could actually play tennis on television. But then as I started to develop, and I was watching Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert playing, and Martina was a serve and volleyer, I knew I wanted to be an aggressive player and a serve and volleyer. Started off with a one-handed backhand, saw Chris Evert playing with a two-hander. I went to the backboard. They don't do backboards nowadays, but I went on the backboard and started practicing my two-handed backhand, and then I developed that. But there were several people that I admired as I grew up.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Fun going down memory lane there with Dominic, remembering my junior days playing at Midtown Tennis Club. Back to the boys' 18s. Before Francis Tiafoe reached the finals, he had to battle hard against Rancho Santa Fe's Taylor Fritz in the quarters, losing the first set 6-3 before squeaking out a tiebreaker in the second and then dominating the final set 6-2. The big-hitting Fritz recently enrolled at Laurel Springs School, and he talked about its benefits.
I started with Laurel Springs halfway through my first semester this year. It's my sophomore year, and I like it because it provides a lot of flexibility for my school, and I don't need to worry about the due dates, but I'm also getting a very good education with it, and I would definitely recommend it for anyone. It's a great school to do for people who are traveling around a lot and need the flexibility.
Quite a nice option for school there. This brings us to the boys' 18s final, where my partner caught up with the players before their big match.
Nathan, excellent job reaching the ASICS Easter Bowl final as an unseeded player. How does that feel?
Feels great. Been really playing well this week, and I want to keep it going today.
Now, Francis has been having a lot of success lately. Is there anything tactically do you think you can exploit to maybe get a win today?
I mean, he's a really good player, and he plays really aggressive, but I think if I can play my best offense, I think it's going to be the best chance.
Awesome. Well, good luck. Offense against offense.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to it. Well, how much do you know about Nathan Ponwith?
I know a lot about him. We've traveled a lot in the past, and, you know, we're pretty close. We're good friends, and I hope we put on a good final today.
Awesome. Well, what shots in your game do you think are going to need to be clicking for you to, you know, solidify this final?
I think I'm going to have to be serving well. I'm going to have to be hitting my forehand well.
We'll see if he can get that forehand going here in this championship match with two young gentlemen, 15 and 16 respectively, in the 18s division.
And right from the start of this match, we really got a chance to see Tiafoe's two major weapons, his athleticism, doing a great job of keeping this point alive, and then boom, that big inside-out forehand winner.
Ponwith serving now. Tiafoe, good reflex on the return.
It was a butchered serve and volley attempt by Ponwith. Great feel, great touch from Tiafoe to secure the game. And we get a look at Jose Higueras in the white hat sitting next and talking to Jay Berger about Tiafoe. And this is break point, serving for the set. Tiafoe, again, going for that drop shot. This time, Ponwith making him pay.
And a couple games later, we are in a tiebreaker.
And this is where Tiafoe's main weapon, that forehand with a semi-western grip, really started to shine. He was able to push Ponwith around the court, and it was a little too much spin, a little too much pace for him to handle, hitting a couple of winners to make this tiebreaker go away with ease.
A mini break early here for Tiafoe.
And again, another look at this forehand. He was really able to jerk Ponwith all around the court. Great effort, great scrambling from Ponwith, but it's just a little too much firepower to handle.
Big shots from Tiafoe, a huge forehand, but you wouldn't know that he just won the set with that body language.
And again, this is a great look at the Tiafoe forehand. Good preparation, good technique. I had a little semi-western grip, and this is where he just absolutely clocks an angle winner. I don't know if it's exhaustion, I don't know if it's relief, but that certainly doesn't look like a guy who just won the first set.
Well, we move on into the second set now, and Ponwith really trying to heat things up from the baseline.
He decided he's got to take a few more risks and has to really scramble and make Tiafoe come up with the goods. And look at this shot from Tiafoe, a circus shot. But again, Ponwith just saying, I'm in control, I'm on offense. If I'm going to win this match, I'm going to have to come up with some winners.
Tiafoe looking for answers in the crowd. Ponwith now in the near court, really moving around the court. And Tiafoe comes up with nice touch, but Ponwith too quick to get there.
A couple of times that drop shots really cost him. Ponwith is all over it. He's seen him play too much. And again, Ponwith really going toe-to-toe with Francis Tiafoe and showing him a bit of his own medicine with a huge forehand winner up the line.
As he closes it out, and now we're in the third set.
This was a tense game early in the third set, and Ponwith really making Tiafoe show him some more goods, and Tiafoe was able to do it with a backhand down the line winner for the early break.
And then in this point, a controversy on the sideline.
Unfortunately in tennis, you're going to get these controversies. Tiafoe clearly not pleased.
Did you make a call? You were unsighted? The umpire was unsighted. According to rule, we need to replay the
No. The ball was clearly in the alley.
And that is the rule, unfortunately, in the ITF tournaments. If the line umpire is unsighted, the referee didn't see the call, you replay the point.
Well, I think he really got fired up after that controversy as he really put the hammer down here with some big forehands.
It was another gear that Tiafoe showed after that, and sometimes in a tight match, tense match, that's exactly what you need. And he really took control, and he was running on all 8 cylinders, showing off the touch yet again in the third set.
4-1 after that drop shot, and now 5-2 match point, and you can see just how excited Tiafoe is after withstanding some beautiful tennis from Ponwith. Francis Tiafoe takes the boys' 18th title at just 16 years old.
Unbelievable match. Well done. I mean, you were the youngest ever to win Orange Bowl at 15, and now this is your first ever ASICS Easter Bowl championship. How do you feel about that?
I'm very happy with myself right now. I played a great match today, and first couple of sets, first set we both came out really tight. I wouldn't even say tight, just our feet were not there at all. A lot of third ball misses, and I got up to the lead 5-2 in the first, and then I backed off. I thought he was going to go away. He kept fighting, played well, and then I played a pretty good buster, and then second set he got off to an early break, had some chances to break back, couldn't, and then third set I came out fire and played well, and that's how I won today.
Yeah, it looked. Once you found your form in that third set, you were really dictating play and dominating with the forehand. I mean, is that going to be your strength as you see moving forward?
Yeah, that's the goal. I like to do with serve and forehand. You're dangerous when you can have a serve and forehand. So I like to dictate court with the forehand, but I still can do a lot with the backhand. So.
Awesome. Well, great job, Francis. The future looks bright, and good luck in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
So Tiafoe wins the title, but Nathan Ponwith wins the Jackie Cooper Tory Fretz Sportsmanship Award. And when we come back, we'll have the Women's Sportsmanship Award presentation. The 2014 ASICS Easter Bowl was supported by numerous tennis facilities throughout the Coachella Valley. Former Davis Cup captain Tom Gorman heads up the tennis operations at the La Quinta Resort and Spa.
Well, I think that when we'd heard that the Easter Bowl was going to be housed basically here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, we at La Quinta Resort and Club just down the road here were really excited. The best juniors are here. They're playing. They're competing for ITF points that are going to get them into the junior tournaments around the world at the Grand Slams. And it's really exciting, I think, for the juniors to play here at the site where just 3 weeks ago all the very best players in the world were playing. And it's almost like playing in the Yankee Stadium for young old baseball players. This would be a place I would want to come and play. This is where, Djokovic just won the tournament. It's where Sharapova's won this event. It's where all the top players have been winning. And it's kind of jumping into the limelight for them. So now the juniors can use this as one of their goals.
Thanks, Tom, as we see why he called the Indian Wells Tennis Garden the Yankee Stadium of tennis. Now let's catch up with the girls' winner of the Jackie Cooper Tory Fretz Sportsmanship Award. A very special moment here at the ASICS Easter Bowl. It's for the Jackie Cooper Tory Fretz Sportsmanship Award. And here with me to present it is Tory Fretz.
This is a great moment, CC, for the whole Coachella Valley and all the kids that work so hard to become very good players, nationally ranked players. But the important thing that Jackie would want to know about you is that not only are you a fine player, but you have the integrity and the discipline, and that is the best. And that's why I'm so happy to present you with this Jackie Cooper Sportsmanship Award.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to receive this award. I mean, it's so nice to, go out and play a match and not worry about anything else. So thank you so much.
Congratulations, CC, and good luck in the finals.
Thank you so much.
Now it's time for our Generation Next moment. Tennis fans know Tracy Austin, two-time U.S. Open winner and 30-time titleist on the WTA Tour. But what you might not know is that she's the mother of 3 handsome and talented tennis-playing boys as well. At this year's ASICS Easter Bowl, Brandon Holt showed that not only does he have great strokes and bloodlines, but he's starting to see solid results at some of the bigger Southern California events.
The last 6 months have been good. I've got to the finals of Fullerton. I won Whittier. Just last week in Carson, I got to the quarterfinals. I feel my game is coming around, and I'm working on a lot of stuff with my coaches, and it's helping a lot.
His father, Scott, is very proud of Brandon's progress and reflects on being a tennis dad.
Being a dad watching your son play it's gut-wrenching. At the same time, it's unbelievable. Like everything else, there's a lot of losing in tennis, as you know, but when he wins, it's awesome, and it's fun to see your kid out there competing and battling hard. It's incredible. The talent started early. He's got quick hands. He loves the ball. He always played. His assets right now are he's got a big serve. He's growing. He's big. He's a great doubles player. He loves it.
His grandparents, Stan and Frida, also enjoy watching Brandon play and climb up the junior ranks.
To see Brandon's progress is what is so, what I enjoy so much. And see him mature into the sport and watch him be on the court, handle himself well, means so much to the whole family.
Brandon has hit with many top pros and recently won the prestigious Ojai event.
I've hit with Stevie Johnson, Monfils, Sam Querrey, and then Taylor Dent recently in Hawaii. And I learned a ton from them because I can see what it's like to play at a higher level and learn from their game. I want to play Division I college tennis and then hopefully go on to play some pro tennis after that. Do as well as I can on the pro tour.
For the girls' generation next, we look at 7th grader Taylor Johnson, who lost in the semifinals of the 14s division after beating the #1 seed in the quarters. Taylor is coached and mentored by women's tennis legend Rosie Casals. Rosie, you are a 2-time finalist at the U.S. Open, a multiple Grand Slam doubles champion, and you are here at the ASICS Easter Bowl. What brings you out?
Well, I have a young gal by the name of Taylor Johnson. Actually, Billie Jean brought her to me, and actually she's at Ramp Tennis Academy in Carson, and I think she's a great little prospect for the future of women's tennis.
You're involved in junior tennis. Tell us a little bit about your junior days.
My junior days, oh my God, it was so different from this, obviously, but we didn't have as much competition, but it was something that you have to rely on yourself. Here we have a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers, resources are there for the younger generation, but I'd like to see more serve and volley, better execution on some of the balls coming up to net, a little bit of slice. So, I'm hoping that I can transfer that over to my gal Taylor so she can be a better volleyer, better server, and sort of be a replica of the Billie Jean King and Casals game.
Well, so nice to see you in the game, even at this level, and good luck to you and your protege.
Well, good luck to you, because I understand you're going to become our president, so I'm looking for great things for you.
Thanks, Rosie. Looking forward to working with you. Always good to catch up with a tennis legend like Rosie. One of the major supporters of this year's ASICS Easter Bowl is the Dent Tennis Academy, where former ATP number 21 Taylor Dent and his dad, Phil, the 1974 Australian Open runner-up, train and mentor top young Southern California talent. Taylor's wife, Jenny, herself a former top 50 touring pro, helps out with speed and athletic drills, giving Dent Academy students optimum training to compete at the highest levels of collegiate and professional tennis. And now, here's CC Bellis and Katie Swan, the precocious 15-year-olds walking out for their upcoming 18s final. But first, we take a look at some current ASICS pros. Vasek Pospisil, Allison Rist, and Coco Vandeweghe, as well as former USC star and current top 100 pro, Stevie Johnson.
You know, Easter Bowl is a special event for all the young kids, you know, especially in the States. You know, Easter Bowl has a long legacy of, you know, great winners, and, you know, the kids these days, they love to come here. Palm Springs is a great place, and, you know, I really think that, you know, some of the best kids in the country are playing here this week.
Welcome back to the 2014 ASICS Easter Bowl. In a widely anticipated semifinal matchup that lived up to its billing, number 1 seed Sonya Kenan took on number 4 seed CC Bellis under the hot desert sun. Bellis prevailed in the third, coming back from a breakdown to win 6-4 in the final set. Kenan wasn't too happy about taking the loss to a fellow 15-year-old, but she was more than happy to do a bag check for us after the match.
Hi, this is Sonya Kenan. I'm at ASICS Easter Bowl, and here's my bag check. My tennis racket, I play with the Babolat Pure Drive. It gives me lots of control and power. I have my beats. I listen to it before my matches to get me focused and relaxed. My jump rope, I use it before my matches to warm up. I play with Turner grip. It's really comfortable. I like this grip very much. Extra tennis balls, new. My soft Nike sweater is very comfortable for me. My bands, I use it to warm up before my matches. Extra wristbands and a hairbrush. And the most important thing I have is my phone to call my parents and friends. I'm Sonya Kenan, and that was my back check. Thank you.
Thanks, Sonya. Here we find the two 18s finalists chatting it up before their big match. Our Taylor Dent talked to both of them moments before they stepped on the court.
CC, great job reaching the final. You were a champion here last year. What is it about the ASICS Easter Bowl that seems out to bring your best tennis?
I think it might be, you know, the atmosphere here. I love it so much. And then, you know, everybody that comes out, I love playing in front of people, so.
Awesome. And yesterday we were watching your match, had a little bit of scare down break in the third set. What did you do to turn it around?
I think I just told myself to calm down and, you know, just focus on, you know, my footwork and not really focus on what the score was, and that really helped me.
And what do you think some of the keys are going to be today in the match?
I think just to play my game, and Katie's, you know, such a great player, so it'll be a good match.
All right, well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Katie, it's been such a dominating performance so far through the draw. Really only played one close set. What's been going well for you so far?
I mean, I've stuck to my game plan every match, and I've just been playing really dominating, and I've just been really enjoying the experience of this tournament. It's just going really well.
And speaking about the experience of the ASICS Easter Bowl, how great is it playing at the Tennis Gardens?
It's amazing playing here, especially knowing that the pros were here only a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's incredible.
All right, well, good luck. Keep up the good form, and hopefully we see a great match.
Thank you.
Both these players are so excited to play here at this beautiful tennis facility. At the tender age of 15, Katie Swan has been dominant all week, having not dropped a set, but Bellis wants to add another title to her name.
And Bellis has looked strong herself. She reminds me a lot of a young Martina Hingis, able to really control the court with great precision, great accuracy, as we see on that inside-out forehand winner. And she really is the complete package. She moves well, she can play defense, she can bide her time, and she hits good backhands, good forehands. But the forehand really has been doing the major part of the damage early in this first set.
Nice finish from Bellis moving forward. And that takes her to break point for set point.
And what tends to happen in these situations is when a player is getting pushed around the court, like Swan has, you resort to other things. You try and hit the ball a little bit bigger, a little stronger to take away some offense from the player, and that results in errors.
Swan has been working hard all week long and starting to feel it a little bit. Had the trainer on court working on her left leg, trying to get her going here in the second set.
And Bellis shows no mercy early in the second set. She keeps on the attack, moving Swan around the court, testing out that hamstring, seeing how much fitness she has left. This time, however, Swan shows a display that we haven't seen so far. Big forehand winner cross court, trying to start some momentum. She shows great composure, just goes right back on the attack, moving Swan around the court and showing all shots this game. Little forehand angle, little forehand down the line. Hey, how about a backhand angle? And why don't I finish it with style with a big backhand down the line?
Well, we're seeing all the shots from Bellis as she continues to show her precision.
And this is what an offensive player looks like. In position, in time, really able to decide where I want to go, when I want to go there. If we took a look at Swan on the other side, she'd be scrambling, all out of position.
Well, we've seen the forehands and the backhands, and now we see her move forward with a put-away volley.
Again, there's nothing that Bellis can't do, bringing up match point.
So Swan, with that miss, CC Bellis becomes the 9th girl to win both the 16s and 18s here at the ASICS Easter Bowl. I spoke with CC after the match. CC, congratulations on being the ASICS Easter Bowl champion. What does it feel like?
It feels amazing. I mean, I played really well today. Katie, I think she hurt her leg a little bit, but she's, such a great player, so it's really good to be here today.
3 years in a row you've been in the finals. You won in the girls' 16s last year, lost in the 14s, and now the 18s champion. What makes this tournament so special?
I love it. I think it's just the atmosphere here. I love, playing in front of people and the courts here. It's so nice to be playing at Indian Wells this year, and, to think that the pros just played here a couple weeks ago, it's amazing.
Well, you won the Sportsmanship Award earlier in the tournament, and then now this title. What's next for you?
I'm going to Europe this summer, actually, to play the Junior Slams. So.
Well, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much.
So Bellis adds yet another trophy to her already impressive junior resume, while Katie Swan is pleased as a 15-year-old runner-up. When we come back, it'll be the boys' 16s final. But first, we take a look at some past American greats that have played this event. Pete Sampras, Michael Chang, 1998 champ Andy Roddick, Amy Frazier, and the all-time great Bryan brothers. This year's ASICS Easter Bowl was at a state-of-the-art tennis facility that included an electronic scoreboard and even a radar gun to track the big serves. A nice bonus for these hard-working kids with their truly inspiring stories for the future of American tennis, as we see them mixing in some fun when they're not out on the court competing. Now let's hear from our second kickcaster, 7-year-old Brady Harrison.
What makes the ASICS Easter Bowl so special?
Well, in my opinion, what makes the ASICS Easter Bowl so special is we get to see the young crop of good potential American players come out here and battle it out.
What was your favorite experience playing junior tennis?
My favorite experience playing junior tennis was probably the first time I won a big national tournament. It was the 14s Kalamazoo. It was played in San Antonio, and anytime you win your first big title, it's a big deal.
What advice would you give to young junior tennis players?
Just work hard, make sure you have a goal in mind, and desperation. You have to be hungry and desperate to pursue your dreams. There's a lot of people out there that want the same thing as you do. You got to be willing to work harder than them.
Thank you, Taylor, for joining us today.
Isn't she a little cutie? Well, last year, John McNally had a heartbreaking loss in the 14s final after holding match points against Connor Hans from Torrance, California. Here we see Hans closing out that dramatic match as McNally netted a forehand slice. This year seeded 9th in the 16s, McNally has again made the finals while hoping for a different result. We talked with John before his second attempt at a championship.
I'm John McNally from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I play at a Harper's Point Racket Club. Since last year I lost in the finals in a very close match, I would love to try and come back and win this one. I'm aggressive. I try to dictate the points every point I can, and I would say my best shot is my forehand. I look up to Roger Federer because he's classy and a great sportsman on and off the court. It's quite a privilege to be playing at Indian Wells. since they have an ATP 1000 Masters event here. The courts are unbelievable, and just to know that some of the best players in the world were playing here just a couple weeks ago is awesome.
And the two competitors take the court for the last final of the tournament. It's going to be a great matchup here as John McNally has great variety in his game like Roger Federer, and Zeke Clark, he's just a bulldog like David Ferrer.
Clark giving McNally an opportunity to showcase all of his game early in this match. Big forehands by McNally, setting up approach shots, touch volley winners. It looked impressive. But Clark wasn't going anywhere fast. He said, hold on a minute. I'm going to use my athleticism. I know you're going to push me around the court with these big forehands, but I'm going to make you pay if you make any mistake at all, and that's what happened this point. Hit that drop volley a little too deep. Clark was able to get there and hit an incredible passing shot winner. And here we see the athleticism and the footwork from Clark. Able to, so far from behind the baseline, able to run up there and squeak that ball past McNally, really giving himself some momentum.
McNally wasn't discouraged. He continued to play aggressive, playing well inside the baseline, this time moving forward. Did a beautiful half volley pickup. And McNally looking like his mother, Lynn, who I played doubles with at Northwestern University.
And this first set was just a little bit too much for Clark to handle. End up missing a very routine backhand to give McNally that first set.
McNally starting off strong here in the second set.
Well, going with the weapon of choice is McNally. Huge forehand winner, cross-court on break point to put him up 3-2. But again, Clark not going anywhere, just scrambling, fighting, digging, coming up with huge passing shots to break back and even this match. Now he's up 5-4. 40 Love serving for this match, missed a forehand long, having flashes of last year. Missed an easy backhand in the net, 40-30. Missed a routine defensive slice long, deuce. And on break point, McNally finishing this game just like he started this game, pretty poor. Netted a forehand inside in. Signs of the past coming back to haunt him.
Yeah, he's starting to feel the heat here, but can he move forward in the tiebreaker to close this out?
He did such an impressive job rebounding for this tiebreaker, saying, I'm not going to back off. I'm just going to stick to my guns, hit my big forehands, and make Clark pay for anything he leaves short.
It's 4-all now.
Again, big forehand, deep return, sets up another short forehand inside out. Zeke Clark doing the best he can to get this back. Setting up match point. And again, just like the first set ended, Zeke Clark missing a pretty routine shot.
What a release of emotion there for McNally as he secures the win and the boys' 16th title over the speedy, scrappy Zeke Clark. Taylor talked to John shortly after the match.
John, what an unbelievable match to come through. This feeling must be, especially great for you, having gone through what you did last year. How does it feel to get over the hump?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Especially last week in Carson, same situation. I had a match point early, let it slip, and then especially today. I mean, Zeke's such a tough player, and being up 6-3, 5-4, 40 Love, and having it come back. I did have a flashback of last year, and it just feels unbelievable to get over it.
Yeah, speaking about those 3 match points you had up 40 Love serving for the match, what went through your mind after you lost that game?
Well, last year, I think it cost me because I got a little bit angry at myself, started thinking more, I'm going to lose the match, and today I tried to stay positive and said, you can keep fighting, see what happens, see if you can hold serve and get into a breaker and see what happens.
Honestly, that's what impressed me the most about the match was your composure. A lot of times someone your age, your maturity level, losing that game, serving for the match would just fall apart. So obviously that win, or that loss last year helped you solidify the win this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. It made me grow leaps and bounds, not just as a tennis player, but as a person. I mean, in life you have to overcome adversity, and that's what happened last year, and it all worked out today.
It did, and hopefully it works out in the future. Great job and good luck.
So the boys pose with their trophies and the ball kids as we take a look at some of the images and moments that made this year's ASICS Easter Bowl so memorable for the competitors and fans alike. It was the first year at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden where just a few weeks ago, the best players in the world competed on these very same courts. We look forward to following the progress of all these future stars. For Taylor Dent, I'm Katrina Adams. Thanks for watching.